Hello students, we have been discussing on the different issues including cost and management accounting, financial management, financial accounts, and just we have started your final level syllabus, that is strategic cost management. One subject is there. So that strategic cost management, we have given my part 1 lecture, that is in the description box. You can recapitulate again. Now today we have brought one new area in that extension of the strategic cost management, that is very important, because that is the base of your strategic cost management understanding part. What is that area? Strategic cost management, that is the value chain. So you see that everything depends upon value, today's concept. Earlier concept, what we have been used to tell, that you are to cut your cost to make your profit. Definitely quality concept was there, but now that new area, that is the thing. One is your that value as well as that chain. Value to one concept, you know that any product, it must have some value, satisfaction, needs fulfilling, all those things. So value must be there, otherwise nobody will purchase any product or any services. Then chain matlab you have that chain means link, chain means all other associate things, that is the chain. So what does it, that value chain, that will be explaining this way. First of all, we understand that in your cost and management accounting and cost management concept, why this value chain is so important. Value chain is so important as because of that its concept is widely acceptable. That is, it is being developed by Michael Porter in 1985 and it is being used throughout the world. Under that concept, what is value, what is profit, what is cost? See, we used to tell that sales price minus cost equal to profit, our traditional concept. Now a new concept we came here, that is value minus cost equal to profit. Then what does it, that value means? Your satisfaction, your need fulfilling, all those things. Simply sales price is not sufficient enough. That product or that service must have some value, then your customer will be willing to purchase. So cost and profit you know earlier. So now our entire discussions will be on the concept of value vis-a-vis what is value chain. You see how this value created, that will be defining. You see, this other way around here, value minus cost equal to your profit. If you talk some other way, that is value created and captured minus cost of creating that value equal to profit margin. What does that thing? Suppose you are producing a product, so that you are creating the value. You see, you understand that. Unless and until that product doesn't create value, nobody will purchase. Remember it. Simply producing this stick, it has no meaning unless until this stick has some purpose is there. See, that means to create any product, you do have think in mind what purpose it will be required and how it will be beneficial to your customer. So that thing you have to this thing. That means value created in the name of the product and captured. Created and captured. minus cost of creating that value. You see that, suppose you are producing a product, that means you are creating value, needs, satisfaction, all those things, and that value creation and capturing, you are to incur some cost of creating that value. You see that without incurring the cost, no value will be created. It may be your product, it may be your services. Suppose you banking case, if you go that, they are giving the services. What their services? They are sanctioning the loan, they are disbursing the fund, they are doing all such activities, all those things. So that value of that services they are giving, and in term of that they are taking the some charges. That is the cost of creating that value. Net effect of this value created and captured minus cost of creating value is your profit margin. This is the same thing. Sales minus cost equal to profit, what traditionally we know. But here we have to go little bit in-depth analysis as for your CA and CMA final level exam. Because we have to, our traditional cost accounting concepts or management accounting concept, you have to little depth analysis you have to make it. Because today is the complex market concept where the complexity in the mind of your buyers. So you have to keep in mind, everything determined for that. So many examples are there, that all these mobile phones, you will not be taking all mobiles. You see that more or less that functions will be same, but you are ready to pay more because of that your mind satisfaction, or you think that some value will be created. That will be in detail, we will be discussing. Now we are coming to other part, that is that what is the Porter's concept of elements of that value chain. Elements of Porter's value chain, what does it that means? Focuses on systems and how inputs are changed into the output. You see that concept is same, but in other way around. Porter's who has developed this concept, this value chain, according to him, what that concept focuses, the systems and how inputs are changed into the outputs purchased by the customers. Suppose you want to produce some item, so you have to, from raw material to different stages, you have to go to the finished product stage. Suppose you talk about this sketch pen or this whiteboard marker, so this just like that, this finished product will not come. For that purpose you have to bring the raw material, you have to put it in your machine and go through different processes with the help of your production designer, controller, as well as your trained and experienced manpower. This is the so many involvement processes are there, and that value creations will be each and every step. You understand that? Suppose value is not being created each and every stage, you cannot get a full-fledged this sketch pen as you desire or as you require. So that's why it focuses on the systems, processes, and system means all these activities: purchase material, to store, to production, again marketing, selling, distribution, finance. If all these activities and systems will go in simultaneous way, no break will be there. If any point break is there, your value chain will be disturbed. So it is a harmonious process and continuous process. That is the output being purchased by the customers. You see, if any of your process, if there is some disturbance, your product will not be as you will be required for that. Suppose if product is passes through 3 or 4 processes, P1, P2, P3, P4. You understand that? So P1 to P2 it is going, P2 to P3 going, P3 to P4 going. So P2 is dependent on P1. You understand that. Similarly, P3 also dependent on P2. Suppose in case P2 some standstill is there, it will not being lost for this P2 process. It will hamper to the subsequent processes all. Here P standstill means P3 also will be idle, P4 also will be idle, your finished products also will not be there. Suppose if you have some delivery order is there, you will not be able to complete the delivery. So this is a chain reactions of your activity. Suppose if we have been regularly talking, no, your human body and human brain. If you are not happy, suppose if you have fever, like that, I could not give the lecture before you. So that is the thing, your entire mind, brain, body, everything will perform. Similarly, a business organization performs that way. So why that thing, why that concept has come, will come subsequent to it. So now these systems and inputs are converted into outputs. You see that input are converted in the output, that is the factory, everybody we know. But what is the activities we will be doing, we have to understand in depth. What is that? Inbound logistics, primary activities, what you have to do. Operations. Operations means procure the material, make it stores, and production processes. Operations, it is going on. Outbound logistics, मतलब outside places you are to make outbound logistics. मतलब suppose if you have factory in Pune, if you are to sell in Calcutta, so what you have to do, you cannot every time place the order at Pune and sell it to Calcutta. So what you have to do, you have to through some agent or chain reaction, that is your that dealer or distributor, some store point you have to make it at Calcutta, bring those materials, and you have to distribute through your dealers and distributors, so that your marketing and national level networking will be there. So outbound logistics, model, all this transportation, warehousing, everything comes under outbound logistics. You see that today's market, it is an open market. All world is a village we are talking nowadays, no? So now that is boundaries is not there. You can purchase today anything. Today you order, tomorrow you get it. So how they will get it? This is the chain. This suppose a product is being produced in a foreign country, that some stockist will be in your India, so that they can give as per your desired result. So that means outbound logistics, your warehousings, your distributions point, channel, transportations, everything comes under your outbound logistics. Second is your marketing and sales. You see that any product you are producing, it is not being for your stock purpose. Ultimately you have to sell. Sale is your secondary. Secondary means it is the end stage, your salesman's level or your sales manager level is there. But sales doesn't happen directly. Before that you have to do lot many exercises, that is marketing. Marketing is nothing but the promotions of your product. You see that any film industry, when new film comes, what they do? These artists and some other allied people, they will go for their promotion part. So when a new product will come into the market, you have to make some promotional part, some advertisement, some your sample selling, like that, and you have to understand that which area, what type of product requirement there. Lots of exercises there. Actually marketing is nothing but the planning to sell. See, sale is one thing, that is last level. This is the homework for your sale. So first you do marketing, then your sale is coming. Then your service. What does that service means? You see, today's that worldwide concept, or your what we have been talking, discussing, that strategic partner. Your buyer is not a simply buyer for your product. They are your strategic partner, as because of that. See, your friendship, your relationship, unless and until their relationship is there, your product will not live long in the market, as you have been discussing other days also. Suppose any capital product you are being produced and its life may be your 30 years or 40 years, say, so your relations will be as good as another department of your organization. So you are not just like a buyer and seller relation. So that relations you have to go. What is that services? That after sale services you have to go. Any problem is there, you have to attend. Any replacement you have to attend. All those things, so many these things. Because these relationship, because one time if you sell and go from the market, who will believe you? So people, before purchasing of your product, definitely they will see that whether these people, they have that after sale service effect is, after sale service setup is there or not. They have all their associates who will be servicing give them or not, that you have to understand before being purchased. So this is the primary activities. Primary activities, these are the things will come. Now you have to go for your support activity. What those your support activities are coming on your under these things? Your support activities, that level is your procurement, that is purchasing. You have to store your material, raw material, as per your concept wise, whether you are to purchase one time or frequent purchase, that EOQ concept, what is your costing concept is there. Then your human resource management, that is also very vital area of your this thing. Why this human resource management is so important? You understand that a product or a material will be melted or is being melted in a furnace as per the technical process, whatever way you product, you know that gold, how that you have to melt that thing and then you have to put that in design or this way, like that way that your ornament is coming. Similarly, all other processes will be there. But human resource management is very vital, because human mind is not a metal. It can be melted or just like that. So you have to understand. That means your proper people requirement, you have to make it. You have to give them training properly, because whatever job you are expecting, suppose you are taking a trained manpower, but he might be doing some type of machines, other types of machine, but in your organization some different types of machines are there. You have to train accordingly as per your company's product requirement. Then it will be the human resource management. There, your appointment letter, you have to clearly give that what will be their pay scales, what will be their promotions, what will be their bonuses. All the terms should be very transparent way. You see that why this labor turnover will be minimum in a standard or good companies, because they take the right people, train them and give them a right atmosphere, so that the people or the employee can give their best for the organizations. Now next point is coming, your technological development. What the technological development comes under that? You see, today's era, always that system is getting changed, and human requirement and their idea, fashion, everything gets developed every moment of time. So that technological development, you have to see that. If you have some experience of staying in 5-star hotel, you should understand, and if you will realize that, suppose you are going for audit, any 5-star hotel, and you are being put there, and if you see that rooms are being remodeled after 3 months when you will visit that hotel, why that thing? Your customers will not prefer a similar design of room what they have stayed earlier. So now human thinking, human mind, market purchase, market thinking. See, you have to think as per your customers' need, accordingly you have to plan. Not like that, whatever you are produce, you will be produced, or whatever services will give, that will be there. So that technological development you have to do. What that department? Your R&D department. Research and development one department will be there. Their job will be seeing that in the market, what is the latest trend, how this will be going for that. So this is your support service, you have to make it for according to Porter's value chain. Now that you have to infrastructure inbound logistics operations, that inbound logistics matlab in your warehouse you have to put your material there. Inbound logistics, you have to put your material there, stock, storage, operations, production process you completed. Outbound logistics that we have covered here, your marketing, sales, your that godown, your the distribution channel, your point, your sales teams, and services, that is after sales service. So these are the basics of your that value chain concept, that is from your value, cost minus profit, and your primary activities, what are those, support activities, what are those. These are the things we have explained. Now we have to go little bit other areas of discussions of your value chain concept. See, today we will be completing that value chain concept, and subsequent part wise my other chapters will come. So please remember that this concept is very important. Again I am repeating for that. Generally when you listen that very simple thing, but when you will be provided a problem in the exam hall, that may not be so easy within a period of 1 year, 1 hour or 2 hours to concept this thing. From our practical experience, we have been telling that even your invigilator may not be able to try to solve the problem in the exam hall, remember it, and even may not be giving any clue also, because every time a new model of questions will set, and that questions you have to solve with the logic behind that problem. You have to understand this is not a pure mathematics that science formula is will be directly applicable. No, here you have to, what is the logic behind that, to keep in mind you have to solve the problem. So now you have to understand what are the steps of value chain analysis. You see that value chain analysis we have to go for this thing. There are 5 steps of value chain analysis. 5 steps to developing a value chain analysis. What are those 5 important points? Number 1, identifying all value. See, first of all you have to identify all value. What are those values? Then your that chain activities you have to understand. So value chain concept, this is not simply value, this is a chain relation, chain activities. What are those chain activities? Each activity creating your company's finished products. You see that chain activity, each activity creating your company's finished products. So that we have discussed different departments, administration, then your finance, your purchase department, then your production department, then your that store department, then your sales and marketing or marketing and sales department. So these are the departments. This is a chain activities of company's finished product. See, everybody's contribution is there. You cannot leave any one people. So all people, they will have to group together, work. Then only whatever finished products you are getting, ultimately this pen, this is the effort of all departmental people. एक के बिना अधूरा, what we understand that? No. Suppose administration is not there, we will appoint the right people. Suppose finance is not there, we will arrange the fund for that, we will control the cost, this thing. Suppose purchase department is not there, we will purchase the right material. If the production is not there, we will produce the product for this thing. And marketing and sales stores, you have to keep the stores, record the stores, and issue the stores. Some in charge will be there, and marketing and sales ultimately. So this is a chain reactions of all those things. If you leave one, your somewhere break will be there, and what you want, what you need ultimately to satisfy or produce your product, it will not come in the shape. So this is the first point, identifying all value. Now we will be going for this thing, that is your second point for this way, that second step rather, it is that number 2, calculate the cost of each activity. See, you have to calculate the cost of each activity. Why you have to calculate the cost of each activity? Cost drivers are utilities, rent, and staff. You see that calculate the cost of each activity. See, ultimately sum total of all activities cost is taking to the total production cost, be it your rent, staff payment, salary, or wages and utilities, that is your raw material and other allied materials. All those things taking together, your final product is being produced. So that is the calculate the cost of each activity, each stage cost you have to calculate and identify. Number 3 stage is here. Look at what your customers perceive as value. This is very, very vital concept. You think that always everybody is think that I am the best. Okay, suppose I am teaching, I thought that my lecture is very good or something like that. Similarly, all producers is thinking that my product is best. But you understand that, look at what your customers perceives as value about your product. Ultimately, the customers are the real judge. They will be the backbone of your organizations. If they perceive as value about your company's product, then only your product will be sold. You see, we have taken example so many things that they will be coming for these things. How that customers value? Customers tie value directly to a product price tag. Right? First of all, they will see that similar type of product is there. They will see their product price tag, how it is there. But in certain situation, sometimes if your medicine related item, what they will do? Suppose a branded company produces a medicine and other same type or same composition medicine is available. Composition medicines available what people will do? People will pay little bit more prices for the branded company. What does it mean? That is, it is their health issue. So in such situation, they will not compromise. Suppose you see that same product, that is a branded company, I will not take any name. Suppose a good branded company, medicines, and alternative medicines also available in the market. So, but when as your is a health concerned matter, you will be paying some more payment to a good company product as because it relates to health. So this is the concept here. So that is the customers tie up the value first. Value matlab, here value just not like a price tag, over and above their satisfaction, mindset, everything that you have to understand here. So look at what your customers perceives as value. That means value means not only the price tag cost, it is something beyond that what we have been discussing this way. Now this is the your fourth point is coming. Look at your competitors value chain. That is market analysis. See, what is that thing? You see that you have to simply productions, but after that your competitors value chain. You simply do not satisfy yourself that my production cost is minimum, my product is good, like that. Your own satisfaction doesn't have any meaning unless it will be, you should be some favorable positions in comparison to your competitors. You understand that? See, always, or to take an example, your kid got 80% or 90%. You are happy with that? But you have to see that same type of students, what he got the number, then your comparisons will come, no? So you are satisfied that my kid is the best. No, that is not that. Your competitors, who are the players in the market, same type of product, what the other companies, they are doing that also you are, because you have to keep an eye every places, then only you will be able to do that. So look at your, what your competitors value chain. Here 2-3 points are there. Number 4 we will be discussing here. This number 4 we are bringing here and putting this way. What is that? Number 4 under A, process of benchmarking. What that process of benchmarking? You are to compare your process structure with that of your competitors. You see that, what does it mean, that process structure? A product is passed through different processes, be it your different departments or your manufacturing process. You understand that what your competitor process structure. Unless until you understand that, others what they are doing, you will not be able to see. You cannot rectify yourselves unless until you know the benchmarking. Benchmarking is nothing but the standard. What type of process should have been done for this type of product, and what your competitors are doing, that also you have to know. So number 2 point here, is your B. Strategic benchmarking. See, what does that strategic benchmarking? Benchmarking to we have understand first. Strategic benchmarking, what does it means? You have to compare your high level business activity comparing your high level business not activity, sorry, strategy to your competitors carry out task. See, what does that strategic benchmarking means? Compare your high level business strategy to your competitors carry out task. Same thing here also. What strategy is being followed by your competitors, that also you have to understand. That means every time you have to put your things with the a standard level matching, then only you will be knowing that where you are. Your own satisfaction, as we are repeating all the cases, your own satisfaction has no value unless and until you have to take into consideration of your competitors. Number 3, performance benchmarking. What does it that means? Benchmarking to that we have discussed in first point, second point. Your performance benchmarking, comparing customers such as revenue, organic, traffic, social media, performance, reviews and ratings. See, today's that market, that complex market structure, you have to go little beyond your level discussions for that. What is that performance benchmarking we are talking about? Comparing customers such as revenue, your revenue how much, organic, traffic, social media performance. You see that your view in the social media, how people are talking about your product, reviews and ratings also. You cannot see that my product is best, you cannot tell everything. You have to open your eye what others are thinking about your product, that also you have to take into consideration. Then only able to, you have to create the right value and you can get your market whatever you need for that thing. So this is your 4th point we have completed. Now we will be going for your last point under this today's discussion, that is your 5th point. Decide on a competitive advantage. How you understand that? Internal costs, cost advantage, to optimize that cut all costs of primary and support activities. You see, decide a competitive advantage. That means you should have some cost advantage. How you have to do that? Internal cost, you have to reduce it. Cost advantage, what does it mean? To optimize that, cut all cost, primary and support activity. See, wherever and whatever possible, you have to cut cost. Then only you can reduce your sales price. So you should be in cost advantage stages. Unless and see, definitely you should not compromise about your product value or quality of the product, what we are talking about, but you should be in cost advantageous position so that you will be able to give the right price to your customers. How can do that? Your primary activity, wherever your inefficiency are there, you have to identify, and your support service, how you can, instead of direct marketing, you can go for the social media and other. See, there are so many ways of getting things done in the cost point, keeping in mind, you can do for this thing. So that also you have to do for this way. So competitive cost advantage, one point we have explained. One more point is that you have to reduce cost, means more you can push your product prices down, the larger your cost advantage will be compared to competitors. You see that same thing again. More you can push your product prices down, the larger your cost advantage will be. You see, once you are getting the same product or similar product at a lower cost, automatically price will be lower. It will be, you will be in advantageous positions in comparison to your competitors. So for that purpose, your marketing part will be helpful for that. You see, sometimes for this cost advantage situation, cost advantage situation development, sometimes you may outsource talent, replace certain human activities with automated or cheaper delivery service distribution channel. You see, what does it mean that outsource talent? See, sometimes you have been producing a traditional method, what is going on? So, whatever way inefficiency or where are the loopholes, you have tied it up. Okay, no problem. That has been done. Even you have to more tightening belt of your that cost. What you have to do? You have to go for outsource talent. Outsource talent means replace certain human with the automated or cheaper delivery. See, very simple example why that ATM machines have come in the market. Earlier, banks' major functions is the receiving in cash, giving in cash. 4 counters were always busy, and there will be the long queue in front of your counter. Now you can go there, nobody is there, because one simple card that is being mechanized, and your money you can take it and your money you can put it in your counter, that is in your bank. So for that purpose, both way, customer side as well as banker side, suppose 4 people bank employ, for that 4 people they will have to pay 4 lakhs rupees every month. So for that purpose, simple ATM machine can work for these 4 people. Only one ATM machine cost, that will be over a period of time, at the same time rent of that ATM. So these are all these things with the automated or cheaper delivery service distribution channel. You see that service distribution channel also you can do very cheaper way. Suppose sometimes you can't put your own setup, own godown, own distribution channel, or sometimes your franchisee channel also you can distribute it. You can some sparse areas you can rent it. See, there are so many ways to cut cost for your this thing. Suppose some people, you see that they have some spare capacity. So their spare capacity, you can put your material instead of taking a whole godown. If you take the whole godown, you have to keep the supervisor, you have to keep the watchman, everything. But here, your requirement wise, you can take the share. So nowadays for that purpose, all the big cities, it has been given the service activities. You can take rent also. How you can do that? You can showcase your product. Instead of doing these things, they have all platforms are there. You can showcase your product all these big places, so that your marketing cost will be little bit reduced for that. So these are the way. That means these entire discussions we understand that you have to create the value of the product, at the same time you have to reduce the cost. Ultimately you have to think that your satisfaction is not your satisfaction. Ultimately it is the satisfaction of your customers. How that satisfaction of your customers comes? What your competitors are giving satisfaction to their customers. All these things you have to take into consideration before coming to a decision. This will be the entire discussions of your value chain. So I think we have covered all the areas of your value chain analysis. This is the first chapter of your strategic cost management. The major issue is your value chain and value chain analysis. Your FCMA course. This is the first chapter. Today we are ending these things, and this first part, as I have earlier told also in my description box, that part 1 has been given here, initial understanding of your strategic cost management. You can see that, and today also whatever discussed, we are completing this chapter. And as a regular my duty, or whatever you can call this thing, this is a new channel. Your support is very much required, and you can please do subscribe to my channel. One thing I can tell you, that thing, I am not receiving any comments on this issue about my this talking, about my these presentations. You see that little bit this presentation some traditional way, because initially if I go for this, all people they have been doing that thing, that your digital board system, I will not be able to explain all these things in detail. There may be some time consuming, that is in our plan in future, but for the time being, your support is very much required. Then only we can think over some other mode of development. So आज के लिए इतना तक. Have a good day. We are ending the video here.